Do you remember your first listing appointment in real estate? I do. It's 1984. I'm a brand new agent. I'm doing what they called floor time. Floor time back then was, we're too cheap to hire a receptionist, so tag, you're it. So I had been sent to downtown Phoenix, Century 21, 2-in-1 training, which is 16 millimeter films, like this is Walter Cronkite and you are there. And we're watching that, happy people in gold coats, you know, shaking hands with happy sellers and all that stuff. And then they would give me this flip chart, like with a kickstand on it that would prop up, and it had pictures of stuff and little inserts, and then I'm supposed to use that as my listing presentation. So I go to my work, and I'm doing floor time, and a guy calls me up. So this guy calls me up and he says, hi, he goes, I'm calling on the house at 8336 East Cambridge. And I said, oh, are you interested in buying a house in that neighborhood? Now, I'm not trained what to say on the phone, but that's what I said. He goes, no, actually, I live in that neighborhood, and I was thinking about selling my house. And I said, well, I would love to talk to you about that. He said, well, I'm not ready right now. I said, would it be all right if I got your name and your address, and I'll send you a couple of my business cards, and then I'll follow up with you. So he said, yes, that'd be fine. So I write down his name and everything, and then I send him my thank you note, which was the Tommy Hopkins thank you note that I had gotten from some training. And it said, thank you for your time on the telephone. In today's business world, time is precious. You can rest assured I will always be respectful of the time you invest as we discuss the possibility of a mutually beneficial business opportunity. Sincerely, Bob. Put a couple of cards in there, one for him to keep, one to throw away. That's what they taught me. Sent that to him, and then my job is to follow up. So do I follow up with him? Of course not. I'm in real estate, but he follows up with me. He calls me up and said, hey, Bob, it was very nice of you to send that card, and we would like to meet with you. And he said, I can't make any promises because I've already met with, and he names 2 agents. Now, I know the names of these agents. So one of them, think the guy that's on every billboard in your town, the most famous agent in town, and then the other agent was somebody who owned their own real estate company, and I just happened to know him. He was like an acquaintance of mine. So I go, oh, I have no chance, right? So I said, okay. He goes, can you come over tomorrow night? I said, well, let me see if my schedule is free. Oh, yes, I'm wide open. I can see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So then I hang up the phone. What's the first thing I do? That's right, I poop in my pants, of course. I'm freaking out, right? After that's all cleaned up, I said, oh my gosh, I gotta think of what to say. So then I said, okay, I went to that 2-in-1 training. I'm gonna look at that stuff. So I go through the pictures they have, and I think, I've got to think up words that go with these real estate type pictures they have in this book. And then I got to thinking about it, and previous, 3 weeks earlier, I had been a professional photographer. So I literally was the guy they sent out to take those pictures. And I knew they didn't say, hey, Bob, go out and take some real estate pictures of real estate stuff, and then we'll think up words to go with it. They thought up the words. They would give you the words, and they'd say, we need a photograph that says that. So I was about to do it completely backwards, and that's how most agents are trained to do it. So what I did is I just cleared my head, which was pretty empty at that moment anyway, and I just took out a legal pad and I wrote down the stuff that I knew I did not want to talk about, okay? I'm brand new in real estate. I have no track record, so what I don't want to talk about is all the years I don't have of experience. I don't want to talk about all the awards I have not won in real estate. I don't want to talk about my production, anything like that. I want to talk about only the things that might make me look good. So I worked for Century 21. People that back then, that was the #1 brand. It was twice as big as #2 back then. So I thought, okay, Century 21. I wrote that down, tore off that piece of paper, and then my particular Century 21 happened to be the #1 Century 21 in the whole state of Arizona. So I wrote down the name of the company, tore that off. Then I thought, well, I just graduated real estate school, 2 weeks ago. I probably know more about real estate contracts than other people have forgot because I was paying attention and took notes. So I just wrote real estate contracts. I thought, okay, I got to talk about marketing. I wrote down marketing and some other stuff, right? So then I just write a little paragraph because I didn't want to panic when I got there. So I wrote down a little paragraph and I memorized those paragraphs. And then I went and I thought, now I need a picture for each one of those things. So I took, using a technology called cut and paste, which back then was construction paper and glue, and I took the pictures, made a little presentation, 3-ring binder, put that together, put them in a logical order, and then I at least knew what I was going to say when I went and talked to the guy. And it was completely different than what they had taught me at the training. So I go, I get there, you know, I do many things wrong. For example, I took the tour of the house first. That's ridiculous. I would never do that again. I talked about price in the beginning. I would never do that again. No fearless agent would ever do that. So then I go through the little, you know, flip my little 3-ring binder and give my presentation. And then I hit him with the close. I said, so what do you think, right? That's not the close we teach, but that's what I said on my first one. And he goes, yeah, let's do it. I said, do what? He goes, list the house. I go, oh, okay. So I reach down in my briefcase, I pull out a listing, fill out the listing, I get the listing, and he says to me on my way out, he says, by the way, Bob, what percentage of your listings sell? I said, you know, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to get back to you on that. I walk out and I get in my car. And before I left, I said this. I said, hey, you talked to some other agents. Now remember, he had talked to 2 famous agents. One was an owner of a real estate company, and the other was that most famous, most advertised on TV, billboard agent. I said, I know you talked to some other agent. You chose to do business with me. I'm just curious, why did you pick me? And he goes, oh, that's easy. He goes, you had the book. He goes, you know what? They were just winging it. And I said, okay, well, thank you very much. And you know what? He was right. They were winging it. What they did is what every agent like them does. They go in relying on their stats, their reputation, and make it all about them. My presentation was all about him. That's what it was all about. So I got in the car, I go back to my office. Now my buddies, who are also new in real estate, are waiting for me. Now if you're a guy, you know how guys do this. They think, oh my gosh, he went down in flames. I can't wait to hear about this. I go back to the office, they go, so what happened? I said, I got the listing. They go, you got the listing? I said, yeah. Now they knew that he had interviewed those other people. I said, yeah. Let me tell you something. I go, this is going to be the easiest business in the world. We're going to make millions of dollars. This is so easy. And all we got to do is figure out a way to get in front of more people. And of course, that wasn't true, except for one thing. It is easy if you have a memorized killer listing presentation. So we at Fearless Agent teach you a killer word, you know, you don't memorize it word for word, but it's step-by-step listing presentation that has these results. The sellers are going to give you the listing that the other agents that have been in the business for years can't get, even if you're brand new. You're going to always be able to charge 7% and keep 4% in any market, in any price range. You're going to get a 1-year listing, not because you need it, but because you can, because the seller trusts you. You're going to be having every seller beg you to underprice their house right on day one. That never happens to other agents, as you know. And then every one of your listings will sell for tens of thousands, maybe 50s of thousands, in some markets hundreds of thousands of dollars more net to the seller than they can get any other way. So that's the experience I want to have for you. I want you to become a fearless agent. If any of the stuff we do on these videos makes sense to you and you'd like to learn more, go to fearlessagentpodcast.com and listen to our great podcast. You can also go to fearlessagent.tv, which is maybe where you saw this video, but subscribe at fearlessagent.tv. Go to fearlessagent.com, watch our free webinar. And if you think Fearless Agent might be a good fit for you, certainly you can sign up on our website, but you might want to give me a call at 480-385-8810, and let's see if we can make a fearless agent out of you. Thanks.